been building aquariums for, I'm gonna guess, about 53 years since I built my first glass aquarium. And today we're gonna do a little flashback on history of building aquariums and look back at some aquariums from going back all the way to the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, 90s, and into the 2000s, into currently where we are today. It's a wonderful industry, and let's go take a look. It all started with the Florida Marine Aquarium Society. There's my dad and Phil Bellin many years ago collecting tropical fish off of South Florida. It was all snorkels, not as much scuba diving, but they had mini cast nets that they used to cover coral heads, and they would catch the fish with the nets. And then here's a whole article about collecting tropical fish, and that's really where the whole aquarium trade started in South Florida, way back in the 50s. It's a gentleman with what at that time was a beautiful marine aquarium with a French angel in there and some dead coral. And my father at a public aquarium location was on Lincoln Road, Miami Beach, 62, 63 maybe. Here's one of the display aquarium in the facility. And that's what you set up, just a static aquarium with coral skeletons that were bleached. And there I am as a young boy, probably about 6 or 7, with a tropical fish net. And this is my wife, Jolene, years ago too, was doing the same course. She has a starfish in her hand, and this was down off the Florida Keys on her dad's boat. And this was the aquarium of those years, classic old-time aquarium. And this is a cube tank my dad used to build. It was a 24 by 24 by 24 with a Pinatus batfish, very elegant. It's another aquarium in someone's home from many years ago that I used to care for when I was a kid. Another big divider aquarium in a really nice home in South Florida at that time. This was in the Outrigger Club. I used to care for this aquarium when I was in high school and service it. It was 4-sided in the building on 135th and Biscayne Boulevard. This is an aquarium that was on the floor. Very beautiful aquarium to lay in that shag carpet. And then here we are at the Miami Beach home show. We used to do that. You can see every aquarium is just dead bleached coral, and we put our fish in there, and we didn't really use live rock or anything during that time. This is probably 1985. And this was another one of these aquariums that we used stainless steel around. It was really a beautiful aquarium at a home show. This is a desk aquarium with a lid flipped up. Was the desk itself. I had to remove everything off just to service it. This was the East Ocean Restaurant. This was a 16-foot glass aquarium that I built on site and had 3 lobster tanks underneath that were chilled. This was a ex-drug smuggler's aquarium in West Miami many years ago. It's about a 900. It's a really beautiful aquarium that I built in a home down in Key Haven. Back about 1990, 1989, it was 14 feet long, and we actually got the glass up there with block and tackles and built it up in the top as the railing. They wouldn't allow them to have a CO for this home until the railing was complete. And here we are with Jolene, myself, and our daughter Jackie, probably at about 1 year old. At another show, this one is the Florida Marine Aquarium Society show. Here's a very large reef tank that I built down on Key Biscayne in the same time frame, probably about 1993. It's an aquarium in 911 Ocean in Delray Beach. This was an acrylic wave aquarium with soft corals and live rock. Here I am stacking live rock in an aquarium that was almost 6 feet tall. So it was a really huge reef aquarium at that time. And here it is, filled with corals and fish, probably back in 1995. It's another bent glass aquarium construction on a residence in Boca Raton. You can see how we were already putting keystone on the back of the aquariums there back in the early 2000s. There's Joey Turner when I did the freshwater fill-up. He's already working, and I think he was in middle school. And then here's the aquarium a few weeks later with some Xenia and Gorgonians that we collected and other pieces of coral and live rock. And there's the back area of the filtration system at Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C. And then there's the aquarium grown in at about 6 years of operation. Really a truly phenomenal example of a high quality living coral reef aquarium that has stood the test of time. Very educational for the public to see how a totally aquaculture reef tank can grow in captivity. This is the delivery of a very large aquarium via a crane. It's in the crane operator's hands and the riggers at this point. And then here's the aquarium on the rolling stand that we left it on for about a year until the unit was completed. It's another large aquarium in Atlanta, 6,000 gallon reef aquarium. a big rockscape with a lot of Marco rock in there. It's really a significant foundation of calcium carbonate. And then this is inside a Red Bank Veterinary Hospital up in New Jersey. This aquarium has been running continuously for about 14 years now. Bent glass, 1.5 inch thick, and 3 equidistant panels is how we constructed this particular aquarium. This is at the Miami Children's Museum. This is running continuous now for about 15 years. It's a very large jellyfish cylinder that we built at Coba Casino in Lexington, Kentucky. And there's the restaurant filled with people and jellyfish swimming in the middle of the restaurant. So through the years, we've learned a lot about aquarium building and really have honed our profession into building some of the finest living coral reef and jellyfish displays, plus some very unique installations through time between ponds and some freshwater installations. And we really enjoy building beautiful aquariums in really fantastic residences and restaurants and commercial installations. It certainly is a lifetime of love in building beautiful aquariums in wonderful spaces.